Okay, we're squared away. Hey, look at that scene through the trees. Isn't that, those trees are so beautiful. You want to draw that scene over there with the trees in front of the brownstones and the stairs and the cars and the street. So you want to make a cover out of that. You got to look at it. You got to sit and look at it. Nobody would ever photograph it the way I would see it as a cover.
People used to send him love letters. For years and years, George Booth would get letters from female readers proposing marriage to him. He was beloved. He's been beloved for decades here.
George Booth is a brilliant cartooning that has been a hallmark of the New Yorker for 50 years.
I've loved and known George Booth's cartoons my whole life. His style is so distinctive. There's one that's sort of famous. It's a yard sale cartoon where it's this woman and she's just surrounded by tables that are like piled high with crap. And then she goes, "There's more inside." And you say, "Ah, I bet there is."
This one, the elephant is just lying down, and the trainer is saying, "It seems like some days I make a little progress, then other days it seems like I'm not getting anywhere at all." I mean, that is life.
I had sudden onset of very close to fatal congestive heart failure. All of a sudden, I was dying.
I got this idea, maybe I could get George to doodle something on a card.
I can't describe what a treasure it is and what it meant to me. And what it said, push on, get all you can while you can.
That's the whole schmickey we're talking about today.
You want to pick up your bowl for me? Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Darn feathers. Chicken feathers.
We got chickens running around here now?
I cough on one up every now and then.
That's where I learned what geeks were, that there were people in the sideshows who would bite the heads off chickens. That was where the original definition of geek came from. Yeah. Things your dad teaches you.
My daughter just was throwing a bunch of newspapers out, and I looked through the plastic bag, and I had a star on the Wall Street Journal and the Times and other papers, and I'm not pointing a finger at you, Sarah.
You just did. Those are 2-year-old newspapers, the ones that were being thrown out.
Age doesn't matter on those papers, but I can pick a word out of 2-year-old newspaper and apply it to something I read or heard today, and I'm off and running. The section is business and finance. My note says, Dion, lift your eyebrows, ... and put on a happy face.
Yeah.
Close quote.
Of course, he writes it on a newspaper and you can forget it.
Throw this in with the
In the pile?
Fairfax form.
Oh, yes.
Where
could
I
be
set
that.
the type.
George has a long relationship with newspapers.
There's no limit to words. Finding humor in order to reach your audience. I look for timely ideas, and I also inject my life from childhood on up. I grew up in a town of 800 people. Northwest Missouri, corn country, good country. Mother was the one with Cherokee in her blood. She was an artist. She got me started drawing cartoons when I was 3.5. I drew a racer car stuck in the mud, and I couldn't quit laughing at my own cartoon. Mother realized that this is something important. I had good people that I grew up with, family, teachers and farmers. Get your polka dot butt out of my leaves. Abstinence. After high school, I didn't get college. I was being drafted to go in the Marine Corps. I put in almost 8 years of acting. They were an education, they were an art school for me. I was staff cartoonist on Leatherneck, a magazine put out by the Marine Corps. I would show guys in battle situations doing silly things, and the reaction was good from the guys. They appreciated a laugh here and there. I got out of the Corps. I was registered as a future farmer of America, and I really didn't want to do that. I wanted a cartoon.
All right, this is the rough?
Yeah, that's a rough.
I love this. I like this dancing dog in a top hat.
Well, I think at first sometimes his cartoons present as being sort of the small town Missouri of his youth, the like Gainesville or Fairfax. But it's something, I think, other than that, which is sort of Boothville, where it's just inhabited by these characters that speak in a way that I don't think people in Gainesville spoke. It's like a way that only George Booth speaks, and it has all of these incredible words that you have to look up in the dictionary coming from the mouths of these yokels. And more than anything, it's just a place that once you have inhabited it, even a few times, you feel like you've come to know it, even though you've never been anywhere like it.
Stand aside, Grunewald. It's the computer I'm blowing away. If there is plastic on your tray, recycle it. The Queer Eye people came by, but they fled. This is once in a lifetime to get together.
And once is enough.
You're right. You're looking good.
And you're looking good.
You're always looking good.
Well, that was obviously very good.
Be together today.
Good.
Whatever your name is and whoever you are, it's nice.
Who is that man with the
Nice to meet you.
When you and I first met,
Yeah.
I came into Manhattan. Didn't have the experience, and I didn't have anything to eat. And he bought me a hot dog.
What a guy. No, I was thinking, as George had been doing, as it turned out erroneously, that you had to do a certain kind of New Yorker cartoon, which I didn't know what that was. And then I suddenly saw you work appearing, and I thought, this is stuff from backwoods Missouri. I mean, what's this belonging in the New Yorker? And that's when I realized that he had been unsuccessful at selling his work, because he was trying to think of doing stuff that he thought was New Yorker stuff, which they didn't want. And what they wanted was him sitting on the porch in Missouri, spitting in a spittoon and whatever, doing his backwoods stuff.
Mort is still like that.
Yeah.
Did I hear the word action?
Action.
George was doing freelance work when I met him. He was living in a revolutionary house on Main Street in Cold Spring Harbor. He had a room. He said he couldn't bring me into the house because the people who owned the house didn't want him to have any visitors, not even men friends. That's what he said. Should I tell a story about the bedroom?
Sure.
He told me that I couldn't go into the bedroom. You ever tell a woman you can't do something? And I went in there because I wanted to see what his lifestyle was. Then he said, and whatever you do, don't close the door. So I closed the door and I jumped up and down on the bed for 20 minutes. And I think they asked him to leave. And that was sort of the beginning of our relationship. I married a man who didn't have a job and it didn't appear to have any future. And I was perfectly all right with that, some way or another. We need each other, and we need to find the humor in things. And with so much discomfort in the world, to be able to laugh about some silly little insignificant thing is a great thing.
I gotta tell one.
Do I need to hear it first?
I was drafted in '44. Recruiting sergeant says, "What do you want to do in the Marine Corps?" I said, "I want to draw cartoons." I didn't notice there was a war going on. I was stationed in Hawaii. I was assigned to go down to the end of the company row and square away a 6-holer outhouse. So somebody came over and gave me a tank of oil to sanitize it. And you had a hose on it and you squirt everything where there could possibly be something impure. So I went in and did what he said. I did a thorough Missouri boy job, and then I stepped back and threw a match in there, which was also instructions, and the thing blew up like a volcano. I heard the officer say, "Who in the hell did this?" Everybody pointed a finger at me. He said, "Throw him in the brig." Some guy stepped forward and he said, "Sir, there are no more brigs. They've all been torn down." So they answered that question by assigning me to a gully. So I spent 2 days in a beautiful Hawaiian gully. It was one of the nicest times I had in Hawaii. But war is hideous, and it keeps popping up, and people are hurt, and lives are hurt, and I think about it often.
My colleagues thought I was crazy, but in the week of 9/11, when we were extremely, not only heartbroken, but we had to do our jobs, which is to say, put together this issue. What were we going to publish? I couldn't bear the thought of publishing cartoons that week.
The first issue after 9/11, there was one cartoon that was mine. That was my mother. Mother prayed at times, and she showed me how to pray. She was sitting in a straw-bottom chair, kitchen chair, and then you fold your hands and you pray.
We put it in because it was subtle. It wasn't on the nose. I mean, to make an on-the-nose joke about 9/11 would have been beyond stupid. But George's image worked. It somehow had a resonance and a meaning without being about 9/11. So there it was.
I think it's telling us that there's a time when you don't have humor. You know what I mean? Where you have to catch your breath. But when you catch your breath and when you breathe again, breath is life, humor is life.
4, 6, 8, 9, 15, 16. Oh. Here's a line. Yet the starkly different strategies of the candidates are straining the industry's bedrock notions of even-handedness. I would pick a word, even-handedness. It's an inspiration for a situation if you work at it. The boss is standing there. The boss is a big man, and he's rubbing his fist like this with a spark or two flying. And Arnie is flat out on his back, unconscious. The boss clobbered him, and the assistant is saying, "That's all right, Mr. Henderson. Hod Manrose deserved some attempt at even-handedness." And all of this is nothing except you keep going. You keep working toward a cartoon. Words are wonderful. It's beautiful. Your car will be right down, Mr. Lundquist. New York is a place of free spirits.
Which pays better, crime or cartooning?
Crime.
No doubt about it.
In fact, you don't have to go through lots of words. You don't have to just say crime.
Well, not to put it too bluntly, can you make a living at this?
Yes.
It's marginal.
Mm-hmm.
No, well, you can make a living. It satisfies one's needs, but not all of one's greed, let's say.
Watching this generation of the cartoonists I think of as the New Yorker cartoonists become old is really sad because they're published less in the magazine, and some of, like, as they stop being able to get to the office, they stop coming to the office, and I don't know how the older guys make a living. Like, did they save money? Do they have a pension? I don't know.
Okay, Mort's here. That does it. Mort and I are getting married before too long.
I didn't think you. I thought you gave me my ring back. You gave me the ring back. It's off. Besides, I wanted a Jewish wedding, and you didn't. Remember?
Well, this is a party.
Great to see you.
Hello, George. Happy holidays. What do you have there? A cookie?
Good to meet you. Happy?
I am, yeah. See you soon.
Mort. Are we gonna be fed?
No.
No? Just to get together?
This is it. This is the whole thing. There's no food.
Good Lord, that's awful.
Maybe that's why they didn't invite us, because they felt cartoonists would be eating too much.
They're probably right.
What's the hardest thing about aging?
About aging?
Yeah.
I don't want to choose a path for going downhill. People do that, barely get around, and they're not as productive. I'd rather break new ground into something I never did before and stay alive in my work. To keep plowing the field, you got to work at it. Plant your seeds in there and something will grow. Finding humor, growing humor, there's nothing better. If you can come along with the right cartoon and quiet everything down by showing how silly it is, then you've accomplished something. Maybe I ought to put another one down there. I need a job. Gee, that is just wonderful. Proud of you.
Yeah, and that's what Julius Winston speaks about. Who does? Julius Winston.
Happy birthday! Oh my gosh. Somebody left the door open.
Guest of honor gets first dibs.
To you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear George. Happy birthday to you.
Hey, I love you people. I love Brooklyn. To everybody here, I hope you get yourself straightened out.
Yay! Yay!
Thank you.
Nice work, Sarge.